This is the final chapter of a long betrayal. For over 50 years, France took Niger's uranium and gave back in nothing but poverty. But now, Niger has shut the gates. France's nuclear empire is crumbling, and it's all because they took too much for too long. Deep beneath the sun-scorched deserts of Niger lies one of the world's most precious resources, uranium. For decades, it powered France's cities, lit up Europe's homes, and kept nuclear reactors humming, while millions of Nigerians lived in the dark. This is the story of Orano, France's nuclear fuel giant, formerly known as Areva, and how exploitation led to collapse. In 1971, France began extracting uranium from Niger. By 2023, over 86% of the total uranium output had been taken by Orano, even though it legally owned just 63% of the Somaire joint venture. That's not partnership, that's plunder. This lopsided extraction enriched France. Meanwhile, Niger, one of the poorest nations on earth, couldn't even power its own villages, a nation glowing with uranium, yet trapped in darkness. Then came the coup of 2023. The military government ended ties with France, nationalized Somaire, and kicked out Orano. France called it hostile. Niger called it justice. Orano cried foul, accusing Niger of forcing it to spend on production even when uranium exports were blocked. But isn't that what Niger endured for years? Profits for France, pollution, poverty, and dependence for Niger. Now Orano says Somaire is nearly bankrupt. The truth? They lost the mine because they never truly shared it. As France stumbles, Russia and Turkey are moving in. Some say it's a new scramble for Africa. Others say it's Africa choosing new partners on its own terms.
Here's a concise summary of the situation. Orano's Somaire venture in peril. Orano, France's state-majority uranium company, warns that its joint venture Somaire in Niger is on the verge of bankruptcy due to halted exports since 2024 and mounting operational costs. Although Niger produced about 15% of Orano's uranium when Somaire operated normally, the junta seized and nationalized the mine in June 2025, leaving Orano without export revenue. The Nigerian military accuses Orano of taking 86.3% of production despite its 63% ownership stake. Orano denies this and highlights that Sopamin, Niger's state partner, refused its share during low-price periods, forcing Orano to cover running costs alone. Orano insists that remaining funds be allocated to employee wages and site maintenance and reserves the right to legal action arbitration against Niger. Broader regional trend. This move comes amid a wave of resource nationalism in West Africa. Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and now Niger are increasingly taking control of mining assets, often with growing Russian ties. This reflects the broader transformation of the Sahel's mining landscape, as military regimes assert sovereignty over resources amidst strained relations with former colonial powers. What this means: impact area, implication. Orano, France, faces a financial hit and likely legal challenges, loss of a key uranium supply, 15%. Niger claims national control over a valuable resource, risks economic disruption without stable export frameworks. Global uranium market. Spot prices have risen 7% in 2025 to £79 as supply uncertainties intensify. Geopolitics highlights the declining influence of France and the rise of links with Russia-Turkey in the region.
From Burkina Faso to Mali, and now Niger, a new generation of leaders is saying, we will not be poor in the land of gold. We will not beg for electricity in a nation full of uranium. This is not just about uranium, it's about sovereignty. About standing up and saying, no more secret deals, no more stolen futures, no more exploitation in exchange for silence. Africa is rising, and it starts with knowing the truth. Share this video, demand accountability, support African ownership of African resources. This report is based on verified news, historical data, and current geopolitical developments. See Africa TV promotes informed dialogue and sovereignty. We stand for truth, justice, and a future where Africa decides Africa's fate.